Hey everyone, welcome back to the Saturday SITREP. CV Harris here. So today I actually want to talk to you guys about military service and my thoughts on it, my thoughts on mandatory military service, my thoughts on the type of person that is good for the military. This comes up because I have a nephew who has asked me questions in the past about, I don't know if he's good for the military or not. That's really something internal that he has to ask himself. I don't know if he's interested in doing it or not, but he definitely was curious in asking me questions and my thoughts on things. I actually want to share those with you right now. So one of the things that he asked about was mandatory military service. I lived in Europe for quite a few years, and there are a lot of countries that have mandatory military service, usually between 1 and 3 years, most of the time in that 2-year range. People, they graduate from high school, men particularly, graduate from high school, and then, between the ages of 18 and 25, they have to perform military service. I truly think that it not that it weakens the military, but it's just bodies in the military that are taking up space. They slow the rest of the military down, to be honest with you. And it's nothing personal against those people, but they really don't have any buy-in. They're just there because they have to be there. They don't want to go to jail, so they're doing their mandatory service. Really, they're treated a lot like hard labor. They're the lowest of the low. If you can imagine how much a private is treated, now go down a level or two, and that's what we're talking about, the conscripted service, the forced military service. Really treated poorly, not necessarily uneducated, but untrained, unskilled for military type of stuff, and nobody wants to take the time to really teach them because they're going to be gone soon. Some of those people may, decide that they want to stay, but for the most part, they're out after their time is up. The U.S. military for a time had a draft, and I think you kind of got the same type of person, just bodies. That's all it was. It was just, butts and seats, and that's it. And really, once we got away from the draft, we got a professional military, people who wanted to be in the military, for the most part. I know there are the stories and rumors of people, one step ahead of the law, join the military or go to jail type of thing. But really that doesn't happen so much anymore. The military actually has not necessarily high standards, but higher than what most people are aware of. You have to have a GED at least, or a high school graduate, and that's really not something that is, for most of the service, isn't waiverable. You have to have that. You have to be able to read. You have to be able to write, speak clearly, and understand directions and things. So while I know those sound like very basic skills, there are people who just aren't cut out and aren't mentally capable of serving in the military because they can't read, write, and all that kind of stuff. There was a time in our past where that wasn't really necessary, but we have gotten to that point where it really is. So I think the fact that we have a professional military is a good thing. Now, there are people who join the military just for college. They want money for college. They're just going to do one term, and then they're going to leave, and that's okay. Everyone can't stay in the military, or we'd be so bloated in the military that we wouldn't be able to function. We wouldn't have the ability to pay them, to feed them, to give them weapons and things like that. So it's okay that people just do one term and they leave. Some people feel upset about that. They don't want to take care of the lower enlisted because they're just here for college. But at the same time, they chose to serve. They're doing their time as far as service goes, and it wasn't mandatory for them. And I think that that's a great thing. So it's okay that they want to go after one term. I have no problem with that at all. I don't feel betrayed or anything like that. I served for 23 years, possibly longer than I should have, but I enjoyed my time. I really did, and I felt like it was a good fit for me. I joined because I wasn't going to be going to college. I was tired of school. I had, mediocre grades at best, and college just wasn't really in my future, okay? And I didn't know what else I was going to do. I could, work in the oil fields, hard labor type of thing where I lived. But I see now some of the people who did that right out of high school, and they are worn out, even more so than the military has worn me out. So I think I made a good choice. And I decided to stay because I actually enjoyed what I did. I enjoyed the security of a regular paycheck. I'm not going to lie and say that that wasn't part of it. Not everybody is ultra patriotic in the military. I think that it is important to love your country and want to serve your country, to be part of the military, but I also think that it's okay to want a paycheck from it as well. So I have no problem with that. So the type of person that makes a good lifer, I guess you could say, the type of person who is a good fit in the military. For one, when you start out in the military, whether you're officer or enlisted, you're going to have to be a follower. Okay, you need to be able to follow directions, follow orders. It doesn't mean you have to blindly follow them, but you do need to understand that there are times when you just need to shut up and color. You just need to do the job and do it to the best of your abilities. At times, however, you're going to have to step up and be a leader. And it might even be when, you're a lowly little E2 or E3. There's a chance that you're going to find yourself in a position where you're actually the highest ranking person there, and you're going to have to step up and be a leader. It could change just like that, so quick, where you're in charge and everything is going to according to your plan of how you need things to go, and suddenly somebody new walks in the room and you're not in charge anymore. And suddenly, that plan changed. They have a different vision. And you have to really be able to switch gears like that. You have to be able to, okay, well, this is where we were going. This might be a little bit different, but that's their vision. And go with it. You have to be able to do that. A lot of it is not taking things personal. Just because your plan wasn't their plan doesn't mean that your plan was bad, but you still have to go with what they're doing because they're in charge now. That's just the nature of it. If you can't do that, if you can't just let that go, the military is probably not a good place for you unless you're going to be, the man at some point, in which case you got to work your way up through the ranks anyway. You're not going to get hired on as the, chairman of the Joint Chiefs. That's not going to happen. So you're going to have to be able to work your way up to that leadership position. You will learn, okay? I don't believe that there are born leaders. I think there are people who are born charismatic and who have the potential to lead, but I truly believe that you need to learn that skill. You have to understand people. You have to have been at the bottom and really kind of work your way up, understand what works, what helped you and what helped motivate you, and then kind of instill that in the people who work for you. And I think that's military or civilian life, either one. Really, I think that's the way that works. So one of the things that I really like, there's a quote from Teddy Roosevelt, and I'm going to completely butcher it, so I'm just going to summarize. Basically, it comes down to this, is in combat, the best decision you could make is the right choice. The second best decision you can make is the wrong choice. And truly, the only bad decision you can make is to not make a decision, not to make a choice. And really, the military is a lot of that. Hoping that your experience will help you and at least get you kind of in the direction you need to go. And then maybe on the fly, you've got to tweak things and adjust, kind of figure out where you're going to be going. Take a look at your compass and re-guide onto that track that you need to be going onto. And the military is a lot of that. And it's being able to do that as a leader and guide people at least in the right direction of where you need to be going. So, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today, and I hope you guys got something out of it. Let me know what you guys think. Am I completely off base here? For those of you who have served in the military, I want to hear from you guys. Leave me a comment down below. If you have any questions about military service, let me know that as well. Again, down in the comment section. And if you enjoyed the video, it's always appreciated when you like and share. And if you are not a subscriber and you want to see more videos like this one, find that subscribe button right down below, put your crosshairs on it, pull the trigger on your mouse, and then come back next Saturday for another Saturday SITREP. And remember, your mind, that is your most important weapon, and it's vital to be armed with information. Until next time, take care and be safe. Charlie Bravo out.